What a great view Agnes has looking out her window. Check this out. Trees overlooking the Courtney River. Actually, the Puntland River on the way to the Courtney River. Funny story. I've been known, I guess, only 2.5 years, but I delivered papers across the street from her house for the last decade. So Courtney's a very small town when it comes to the end of it, and yeah, I'd seen her car, which is how I recognized her and connected with her online. I actually made a comment about her 1961 coming 62 Corvair. Um,
Okay, so if I disappear or go mute or something, it's because I'm manhandling my Kleenex box.
Yeah, and I had to deal with my big baby earlier this week. I came home from papers, and she'd slept from 11 o'clock in the morning till like dinner time. Went back to
Wow.
bed at 8 o'clock and slept through till papers the next morning, because with our schedule, when you get up at 3:30 in the morning, there's no not doing it.
No, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
I've made arrangements. Even my helper for the $55 for the 3 hours work won't get out of bed in the middle of the night if I call her.
Oh no.
And we haven't
Yeah.
trained a replacement for Ange because her route's a little bit more complicated, because the Globe and Mail she works for, they have Monday to Thursday customers. They have Monday to Friday customers. They have Friday and Saturday only customers, and they have Monday through Saturday customers. So there's
Oh, good heavens.
4 combinations you can have, as well as they are the distributor for the New York Times, something called the Guardian from England, and only 14 of those come to the Comox Valley. She has 2 Guardian customers, and 6 each go to the 2 coffee shops, not Tim Hortons, the other one, Starbucks. I guess people at Starbucks like $6 newspapers.
Well, I guess if they can afford $6 coffee, they can afford $6 newspapers.
I guess that newspaper was thinking, must be an awful lot of English people drinking expensive tea, I guess.
Yeah.
They
Some,
charge $6 for a tea in that place, don't they?
oh, I have no idea. It's not a place I go to, so.
Yeah. Richest thing for me is a Keurig tab, which cost me about 65, 70 cents. I won't buy coffee. I'd rather make the trip home and make a pot if I have to.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I buy nice beans, but that's my luxury. I rarely drink expensive coffee out. So.
So I don't know whether you saw my video I posted yesterday in the branded group, but I had an exciting week last week.
Oh, is that right? No, I must admit it's one of those places I don't go because, and I feel bad, but if I start watching all the videos, like it's really easy to like an hour is gone.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a huge project myself.
Yeah.
So I just, yeah, no, so tell me about your video.
Well, it was more a recount of my week. I've been trying not to complain about the things that have been going wrong in my life, because it just brings more of that into your life. Every once in a while,
Hmm.
you got to catch up and vent. So Tuesday, I pulled 4 out of 6 paper routes because, as I said, Ange came down sick for the first time in over a year, and because somebody had to do it, and I couldn't see her working sick. Tuesday spilled over into Wednesday. And then after the meeting didn't happen on Wednesday, I had to go out and finish the Totem Times papers from Tuesday that had got pushed out because I'd gone and done Ange's route. So because the papers are really huge in October, November, and December, for the last 2 or 3 weeks on Thursday, I've been doing my old Truck 11 for the record, which is 2,500 newspapers for Ange, so she only has to do half, and we're both done in about 4 hours. So this week on Thursday past, it's 11:30. I've done my 2,500 newspapers. I'm in time to have lunch before I go to my noon Toastmasters at the Lewis Center. I come into the kitchen. I grab the new knife out of the butcher block that my kids gave me for Christmas. I'm in a hurry. I'm not, thinking about. Long story short,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can
I
see it.
opened myself up, 4 stitches on the knuckle of my index finger on the
Uh,
inside because I stuck the knife through to the bone and popped it out. I haven't cut myself in about 13 or 14 years.
the,
Oh,
the good thing about a really good expensive knife is that at least it happens quickly and, you know, it's concise.
he was
It
almost
doesn't chew you.
painless till the shock hit me, and then I was good for about an hour. So I went to the Toastmasters meeting after I
Oh
staunched
no.
the blood. 6 pieces of wet paper towel later, because that's one of the restaurant tricks. You wet paper towel and you roll it around and you pinch it between your fingers and hold it up over your head to slow down the bleeding process. So after 5 or 6 pieces of paper towel, I actually get a bandage on it. I squeak into the meeting for Toastmasters at 1 minute to noon. The door's actually already closed, but I jiggle it open and get into the table. And I'm an evaluator, so I've got to be there to hear and evaluate, give my evaluation. Everybody's wondering why I'm holding my hand up, I'm sitting on the table, right? But it is what it is, and you get through the meeting. I go out and I finish all the recycling after the papers, and I come home and my hand's sore. It's like, wow, I've cut myself before. This is not good. So I peel off the bandage, and I'm looking at the wound, and there's this little piece of, it looks like an artery or nerve or something poking up through the cut.
Oh, God.
Every time I move my finger, it hurts because this thing's stuck in the incision. So now I know there's a
Yeah.
problem. So I go out to the hospital, go to emergency. It takes about 3/4 of an hour. I get in to see the doctor. Long story short, it was just a piece of my own body fat that had come loose floating around in the wound. But it was really cool.
Oh,
I
but
don't know,
still.
because where it was at the top of the seam and the knuckle. And had I left it right there at the fold point, it may have caused problems because the finger wouldn't roll all the way back because it would be binding in the joint. So she cleans it
Yeah.
all up and makes me bleed good and sticks the 4 stitches in. It says, try not to stress it for a week.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know my
Yeah.
schedule, right?
How many pounds do you pick up at a time?
Exactly. Unfortunately, I didn't have bundles, but I was really surprised how much it hurts when you snap your hand with the paper when you let it go.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. It
I
was,
bet you weren't flipping anybody off that week.
so if I did, it was really comical because I had one of these great big finger cots on it for two
Yeah.
days. The first 2 days, I couldn't even type on my computer. My thumb, my index finger was so big, I was hitting like 3 keys.
Oh,
I'm
God.
not the best typer in the world anyway, so you can imagine a big finger caught on the end of my hand, and it's literally 50% bigger than the key is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So,
God.
no blog post for like 3 days. I cut a couple of videos, but they were kind of short. I was a little bit distracted. But it is sobering and it is, I guess, empowering to realize you really are alive. And you're human still. I mean, I hadn't cut myself in so long. I had no longer considered it
Human still or mortal still?
mortal. Oh,
That was the rude comeuppance. You're only a mortal.
yeah, not impervious. I
Oh,
did
dear.
heal remarkably fast. The lady that stitched me up said 10 days, and tomorrow at my review of my annual blood test at my doctor, I'm going to have her pull all the stitches because they're kind of irritating, actually. They move around, and now I bleed with
Oh,
them
okay.
because, yeah, it's just the stitches are pretty big. And now that everything's tightened up, I don't know that I need them anymore. All I heard is it's been like 13 or 14 years since I've had stitches, so I really don't know exactly what they're supposed to look like at the end of the day, but wow.
Yeah, I don't
Don't
think I've ever had them. I've been fortunate.
I should be happy. 21 years cooking, 50 years alive. I've only had stitches 4 times in my life.
Well, I got you beat on the ears, and I've never had stitches. I've done some serious cuts. I've always said my hands are my Achilles tendon. Because I mean, I did something similar to that. So Megan was a brand new baby, and I was cutting the meat off a ham bone, and the knife slipped. And yeah, I did the same thing. I said, wrapped it all up, went away like this, blood all over the kitchen.
I never would have gone for the stitches if it hadn't been sore 4 hours afterwards. But I also knew the doctor only will give you 10 or 12 hours, and they won't work on it after that because it's too healed, and they're afraid they might damage the surrounding tissue. So you only
Well,
have
at least you didn't do what my brother did. He sliced his off in the workshop on his big saw,
yeah,
and so he went in, got ice, came back, found his finger slices, cleaned them off of the what's it called, the shavings and stuff,
yeah.
best he could. Jumped in the truck, went to the hospital. I don't know how much blood he lost, and he ended up losing it. Like obviously after all that time, and there was I think 2 that they didn't reattach or they reattach. I can't remember now, but he was a logger for all of his career and escaped totally unscathed, and he's doing something in his workshop one day. And I mean, he knew, because he is actually really safety conscious, but it was a real quick cut, and he needed to do 4 of them. He did it once, it was fine. He did it twice, it was fine. He did it the 3rd time, it was fine. The 4th time, sure enough, this little thing slipped, and boom, his fingers were gone. So I mean, he knows he was just stupid.
Yeah, I
I
worked
bet.
with a chef once years ago, and he'd made the mistake of cutting lamb chops while they were still frozen on the bandsaw, and he'd sawed all four of his fingers off at the second
Oh,
knuckles, and the only two ever took. So he had these two fingers were gone at the first knuckles, and that was a
yeah.
reminder to all the apprentices working with him and all the other people in the kitchen to be super, super careful.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, yeah.
It does happen, wink of an eye. I also knew a buddy in shop that lost an eye for not wearing his safety glasses. He was working on a metal lathe and a hot piece of filing in the eye, and it popped his eyeball.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does happen really quickly. So,
almost grown man cry. Watched a guy in grade 11 lose his eye, dripping out on the floor.
oh, yeah, yeah. I bet the teacher caught hell for that.
There were some questions
Checking
being
on my
asked.
beast.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, she's at the back fence, and there's still seagulls on the river, so she sits at the fence line barking at them.
Oh, no. Our dog barks at anything that comes near it, so I get that whole thing. You heard of a video service called Content Samurai?
Content samurai.
Yeah.
Hmm. There's so many samurais out there. Let me just bring it up. What do they do?
It's a video scribing service that lets you drop in your posts and then overlay them over videos or pictures and do sound. And it's the way it edits is after you've spoken it, it decides on where all the page breaks are, and then you go back and adjust it, so you don't have to build every page like in PDF. It actually just does it for you with the way
Yeah.
it's described. But if you want me to just give me a minute, I've got a little 4-minute video about it, and I'll play it for you on screen share here. I saw it today, and I thought it might be interesting, although I'm not ready quite yet to buy up for the $50 because I don't have enough to video right now to work with it. But
Content Samurai is the fastest and easiest way to create amazing videos, and in a moment, we'll show you how it works. But first, you need to know why video is now critical to the success of your online business. So here are the cold hard facts. By 2017, over 70% of all web traffic will come from video. Video content posted in Facebook is shared twice as often as articles or image-based content. And YouTube now reaches more US adults ages 18 to 34 than any cable network, and is growing rapidly. In fact, video is so superior to plain text content that the search engines now favor it in the search results, even if it's newer and has less authority than an equivalent article in blog post form. This means you no longer have a choice whether or not to deliver your content through video. Digital marketing has changed, and video is now the primary way people want to learn, shop, and interact online. The only problem is that for most business owners, creating a video is still incredibly intimidating. It takes a lot of time to learn how to create a video, and it can easily cost thousands of dollars to hire someone to do it for you. Not to mention, it's now something you need to do on a regular and ongoing basis. That's why we created Content Samurai, the first completely web-based video creation system that allows you to produce amazing full-length videos from scratch in minutes, without the use of any complicated timeline editing software, without going through a painfully complicated learning curve, and without having to pay a videographer thousands of dollars to do it for you. Let me show you how it works. If you've ever wanted a simple way to create killer videos for your business, faster and easier than ever before, you're going to love this. Here I am on the home screen. To get started, I'll just click the Create a New Video button. And now here's where the real fun begins. You see, we've broken everything down into 5 super simple steps. The first step is to paste in your video title and your video script. The great news is this script can be just about anything: an article, a blog post, an advertisement, or even a sales letter. For this example, I'll show you how to make a video using a blog post. So I'll just copy and paste the blog post title from my word processor, and then the post itself. The second step is to create the visual component of your video, and this is where the real magic happens. You see, Content Samurai has already created your visuals. Using advanced textual analysis, Content Samurai reviewed your article, cut it up into small sections to fit on individual slides, and formatted the text. And Content Samurai did all this with the single click of a button. All that's left for you to do is review your presentation and make any final adjustments. If you want to change the look and feel of your video, you can select from one of the gorgeous themes we've already designed for you. Want to add some images? No problem. You can come over here to the images section and browse through a booming collection of over 112 million royalty-free images. And then select the one you like to add it to your slide. Over here, you can highlight keywords, insert a break to split the text across 2 slides, or hide the text entirely to reveal a full screen image. And if you have something specific in mind, you can easily add your own images over here simply by dragging and dropping them into the My Images panel. And if you want to change a slide's layout, just come over here and choose from one of the preset options. No messing around with complicated and expensive software like Adobe Photoshop, Premiere, Soundbooth, Final Cut Pro, or even Keynote or PowerPoint. And when you've finished reviewing your presentation, which should only take a few minutes, it's time to move on to step 3, which is to record your audio. And once again, Content Samurai makes this a cinch. Here you'll see Content Samurai has automatically broken your video script into short sentences, allowing you to record the whole thing in little bite-sized chunks. Just hit the record button on the sentence which is currently in focus, and then read the text out loud. Did you know that the average adult spends more than 3 years of their life in the kitchen? Then when you're done, you can stop recording and listen back to it by hitting the play button. When you're happy with it, just click the next button to record the next sentence. But here's the really cool part. You see, to help you fly through this step in record speed, we've carefully designed the entire recording process to work with the click of a single button. Just hit the record button to start recording, then again to stop, and then again to move on to the next sentence. By recording your audio this way, Content Samurai removes all the friction and makes the whole exercise an absolute joy. You can then simply repeat this process with each sentence until you reach the end, and you'll be all done in a few minutes. And when you're finished, Content Samurai seamlessly glues your sentences together into a single, clean, and coherent audio track. And it's all handled in your web browser, which means you'll never have to mess around with complicated audio editing software that's full of features you'll never need and is downright confusing to use. Recording a professional sounding audio track has never been so fast and so easy before. You can also add music to your video with the click of a button. All Hollywood movies, TV shows, and advertisements include music because it's the most effective way to ramp up the emotional impact of a video with so little effort. And Content Samurai makes adding music to your video push button easy. Simply select one of the many free audio tracks included in the system and you're done. And after you've finished with your audio, which should only take a few minutes, you can then come over here to click the preview button to watch your finished video. That's it. That's all there is to it. No editing to do and no complicated codecs, aspect ratios, or file formats to fiddle with. Content Samurai has analyzed your audio tracks and your presentation using advanced text and speech algorithms and synced them all perfectly together. Your video is done. You can simply press the play button to preview the finished video. Did you know that the average adult spends more than 3 years of their life in the kitchen? With so much time spent in this culinary workshop, you'd expect it to function like a well-oiled machine. However, with most kitchens being so poorly optimized, the reality for most people is that preparing a meal can feel more like a tiresome game of Tetris as you juggle pots and pans, appliances, and groceries that ooze from every cupboard. So in this video, we'll show you 5 incredibly simple kitchen hacks you can apply in your house to better use the space you have. And if you ever want to fine-tune your video, you can do that too, because we've also added the ability to adjust the timing of your slides and audio to your liking. Simply click the manually adjust timing button, move the scrubber to a specific point in your video, and drag the handle to adjust where each slide starts and ends. As you can see, Content Samurai does all the hard work for you in just a few minutes, and with only a few clicks, you can now create engaging content videos, video sales letters, and viral videos with absolutely zero prior video experience. The speed and ease with which you can create amazing videos in Content Samurai is simply unheard of, and we believe it's going to change the face of digital marketing forever.
Kind of cool, huh?
It looks great, yeah. Yeah, I've got Video Scribe, which maybe isn't quite as sophisticated. Let me just look at something else that... there's something out there called taw.co, and I don't know. I haven't really looked into it yet.
How much does your Video Scribe cost you? That's the cartoon one you used to draw on?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of... How do you do the screen share? Just a second. Oops.
If you hover on the left sidebar, a option will come out. And then there's a green box with an arrow. It says screen share, second down on your left.
Okay. I can show you the one I'm working on, but I haven't done the voiceover yet.
Yeah, please.
Just a second. Let me just bring this up first and see. This one's a lot of words, actually. I'll go and get another one that I just did. Once again, that I haven't fine-tuned yet, but this is for a VSL that I'm doing. Video sales letter.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe I will. Just a second. I will do this one. I can just, I'll show you the, I've got my script here, but I just haven't recorded it yet because I'm not going to record it until my voice is back to normal.
They're all so used to your same tone all the time, they won't know who it is.
Well, I'm just so nasal right at the moment. Okay, so the green. And then how do I get it back?
You can just stop it at the top in the middle. There's a little stop box when you click back to the page.
Okay.
It's in the same place where the mute button is at the very top in the middle.
Okay, so do you have my...
I do now.
Can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, so basically what you need to find is a platform that has a strong basic package, has the potential for you to sell high-ticket items, and also has a continuity program. Now, I wouldn't have crunched all these numbers and teased you with them if I didn't have something up my sleeve. What I'm about to show you is probably the best, the most complete online marketing program available on the internet today. So what would you need to develop an online business and make the income I just showed you, or more? The basic program, the top tier program, the continuity program, but how about also basic marketing theory and training? Marketing platform training, you know, how to advertise on Facebook or YouTube. Here's another thought, business development training, just in case you decide to create your very own business model and become a solo entrepreneur. But maybe I'm making you nervous with all this advanced stuff. Maybe you need to learn a few basic skills like using Chrome, Gmail, Facebook, even getting the most out of your iPhone. Well, you get that too. Want to learn some fun things like Photoshop, Amazon, Instagram? Check, check, check. However, an online business needs an online home. So you'll also learn how to buy a domain, create a website, even make those fabulous graphics you see on other people's websites. There's one more thing you may not realize you need, but once you get started, you'll come to appreciate. And we've got you covered with this as well. It's a business coach. Oops, make that two more things, because you'll also join a group of like-minded people, all learning the same things you're learning, and all cheering you on, just like you'll cheer them on. So that's it.
Nice.
So as I said, I'm not going to do the voiceover until, but I've got a whole bunch of those. Pardon?
Once you're your normal, sweet sounding self.
Or something, yeah. Once I can breathe and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
But, and then this other thing is, it's TAWE, and it's free as far as I know. I'm just not sure. It comes with my program,
Okay.
but I'm not 100% sure just exactly. I haven't looked to see just what it does. So if you want to check it out, though, it's tawe.co. It may or may not be of use to you.
Well, yeah, I don't need another $50 a month expense right now, but it looks like a cool tool.
Yeah. Mind you, those discounts will always be available. I found that for some things, you know, they say, oh, you've only got this many days. I mean, worst scenario is you come over here and buy it because it looks like it's coming from a different address.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there are ways around. I also like to go and check what it's available to the public for. Go and search out the actual business.
Well, sometimes too, like my video scribe, that one I just showed you, there's a 7-day free trial, so you don't commit until you've tried it out.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. So, I mean, the
bet.
one you're looking at looks a bit more sophisticated. But I'm going to start losing my voice here. I've got to mute for a second. Just a sec.
Yeah. Well, Agnes, get herself working properly again.
Yeah. Dear.
Yeah, I understand. I was that way for a couple of days last week. I cleared up for my birthday weekend, but it was a long couple of weeks. It seems like everything happens at once.
Yeah. Well, I think what it is too is I've been actually not bad, but I should have taken another pill about an hour ago. So and I forgot. So
well, if you're not in the habit, you're not in the
I'm not
habit.
used to. No, exactly. But I'm noticing they do work, so yeah. I should probably stay on them for a day or two.
Yeah, I took a decongestant for about the first 3 days. Just had to make it function, and then I got better, and it was, you know, I was over it. But wow, that first 2 or 3 days in front of like a faucet, it's like, okay, it's not working.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in the process also of redoing my rec room downstairs because I'm going to reclaim half of it as an office. And so I was unpacking, like I packed a whole bunch of boxes thinking I was going to sell. Yeah. So I was unpacking boxes yesterday, and that's exactly what would happen is I'd bend over and I'd start cutting boxes open or picking stuff out. And it's like, oh, Lord, where's my box of Kleenex? It's like somebody turned the faucet on. So good thing I was working alone.
You didn't sell and move. And ironically, Phyllis sold, bought, and is in the process of moving.
Oh, is that right? Where's she moving to?
She's moving to 9th Street at the end of Mantle up here in my neighborhood, about 10 blocks away from where I live.
Oh, wow. So what made her choose the Comox Valley? Or did she just want to be closer to Civil?
I honestly believe it was the proximity to the hospital that was most important. Her partner's about a decade older than she is, and she's probably a decade on you, and, you know, yeah. you got to be around, you know, imagine Qualicum Beach. There is no emergency. There's no doctor on duty. There's no hospital. It's Nanaimo or Courtney.
Well, she's just outside Bowser or something, isn't she? Which is even
she's on the 4 lanes in Bowser, right before Qualicum Bay. Like literally, you hit Native Reserve 1 block past her place, and then you're in Qualicum Bay, right before Qualicum Beach. There, where all the
I remember going down there one time, and so she's not close to anything if she needs it.
40-minute drive to Comox.
And an ambulance wouldn't get there quickly either.
About 40 minutes each way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So no, it makes so much more sense. And they bought a 2-story place, which surprised me a little bit. But it's an older build, probably mid-'80s, brick faced on the whole front of the house. She says the only thing she needs to do before she moves in is to tear out all the carpet, put hardwood floors in. So I guess she's done well for herself if she could rip out the carpet they put in to sell the house and put hardwood floors down throughout.
That's good.
I'm going to talk to her this week about taking out her old carpet and salvaging it, because the carpet upstairs here in this place, whether we stay or not, is 20 years old. And wow. 20 years a year.
Yeah, I appreciate not having carpet. So,
yeah.
But anyways, I'm probably going to call this a day and just go take some more pills. Everything's starting to seize up. Good to catch up with you. Pardon?
I got something in the can. Peter will probably be by later to watch the video. He's in England right now, from what I understand.
Oh, right. I saw some of his posts.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll be back before December. I don't know if I'm going to keep this going through the new year. At least not in its present format at its present time, because Wednesdays are going to become a bone of contention, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm picking her up. I have done it twice, and literally I come into the office at 2 minutes to 12, sit down, hit the button. So if it's not working, I'm hooped, because it takes 10 minutes to go back and fix something if I've not got the date played ahead. It only lets you build 12 webinars at a time. So if you're not checking on it, you can come to the end of the available, and then everybody goes to the last week's and says it didn't work. You didn't get the regular mail out for today, did you?
No. No, because I'd gone looking for it before I contacted you on Facebook.
It should automatically send them out, but I don't know. I'll get on to Webinar Jam.
No, I did. I got like at 11 o'clock. Now, I got an email from you an hour ago that just says I'm going to be sharing posts with you from my blog if you're on this list to keep you up to date. But like, there's no information there. It's just that's all it says. That came in at 11:16.
Yeah, that's that problem I'm having with Aweber. Every time I publish on Michael's Health Answers, it's supposed to publish my blog post as a blog broadcast, but I don't have the right snippet loaded, and it doesn't load the post to it.
Oh, okay. I've noticed that when I've been sending out broadcasts, but I haven't done that with a blog post yet. Sometimes I'll just use the video or even send them the link or whatever. But yeah, I haven't used that actual feature of Aweber yet.
But you have to get the right snippet for your RSS feed, which obviously I didn't get the right one because it isn't populating the post. That should, instead of being a blank information piece, it should have been my post from last night or this morning, I guess.
Oh, I see.
Because every time,
okay.
So every time I publish at Michael's Health Answers, it publishes to everybody on the health list.
Oh, okay.
But it's not obviously doing what it's supposed to do, which is to populate that blank email with the post that I've issued that day.
Yeah. Huh.
I was just hoping that I could get it set up to work so that, you know, when I do that post 2 or 3 or 4 times a week, that's getting into the daily list and going out to everybody on the list, as opposed to me having to go manually afterwards and post it. Yeah, I've been in the editor twice and I haven't found the right snippet, so I think I'm going to have to go see Peter or contact Peter and get him to email me the proper snippet.
Yeah, and as I say, I haven't even looked at it. So, what was I going to say? So the solar going. I noticed that they're upping the price next month.
Yep, December 1st goes up for the second time since they started. It was $199 when they very first launched, and then it went up to $299 in October, just before I got in, and now it's going up to $399 US. So for us in Canada, that's going to be a good pinch.
Yeah.
My partner Sarah partnered up yesterday, and ironically, she brought in a local lady from the Comox Valley here that I've known for 4 or 5 years, and she's part of Robin's Immunotech business. Talk about your small world. I talk
really?
to Toastmasters, and she joins my team through the lady in California.
That's typical, eh?
Just never know.
So is it paying for itself then for you?
I've only got one person in the application process, but it's Sarah, and as a teammate, it's just a matter of when they get their solar installation, and I'll get my first pay, because you're not paid on recruiting here. You're only paid on solar installs.
Yeah.
So I'll get paid my $525 commission when per install is done, $250 up front and $25 the month I confirm the appointment, and the last $250 gets paid out after they've had it on the roof for 31 days, because they have the right of rescission for 31 days. They pay $2,500 in Solar City, and they come and take away the equipment for just the cost of the crew's time. So that's how it works. They pay you the first $250 as soon as the person signs the contract, and then it's 31 days after the install is done and it's on your roof. You get paid out the rest of the commission available from the sale. And for anybody below you, you get 20% of their revenue. So when they make their $500, you get paid $100 for working with them and training them, getting them going, sort of thing.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I haven't had time to look at it. I've just been trying to get this VSL done, and
I understand.
Got a few people in the chute with SFM, but they're not they're not moving up the ladders. So I'm sort of working on them right now. I'm about to get a YouTube ad campaign going, so I've been making a few of these little video scribe things. But see how it goes. So anyways, okay, well, you take it easy.
All right, thank you for showing up.
Good luck with Ange. I hope she's feeling better too.
I'm sure she's fine. Thank
okay.
you for your week.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.